Oh, hi, Stitched Together friends. I see you found my gnome corner. Oh my goodness, why are there so many gnomes here? Yes, you too. Did you just pop over from Finland? It's Christmas time, which in my home means that amidst all the other possible decorations, the holiday gnomes come out. I feel like I hear them saying, "Yay!" They've been gaining popularity in the US in recent years, but I first encountered them or their felted or knitted versions when we lived in Finland for part of a year, including over the holiday season. The city we lived in, Turku, is one of the oldest cities in Finland, and it was the old Swedish capital.
They still have a traditional Christmas market, or joulutori in Finnish, which is held on the 4 Advent weekends before Christmas. We went every weekend, despite temperatures being in the single digits and very, very cold. We met the gnomes at the outdoor markets that fall and winter, along with many other amazing handmade woolly items. Vendors sold hats, gloves, yarn, socks, knitwear, sheepskin and fleece hats and slippers and gloves, and so many cozy things that I would shop there every year if I could. We saw gnomes with pinecone bodies and gnomes with felted bodies, gnomes in windows, and an entire mini village of gnomes at a restaurant in Lapland, of course, that looked like a nativity scene done with cute red hats, long white beards, and of course, not much in the way of eyes or mouth, which sounds creepy, but in this case is cute. But what does the gnome tradition mean? Where does it come from? The gnome tradition comes from Scandinavia and the Nordic countries. In my house, we have a picture book that shares the spirit of the tonttu, or tomten, as she is called in Sweden. Although the gnome looks a bit like a Santa Claus with a red body and hat and a long white beard, the gnome is actually a spirit of the forest come to dwell at the home or the farm and protect it from evil. Sometimes families will set aside porridge as an offering for the gnome. In recent years, gnomes sometimes play a role similar to Santa, and they are said to leave a small gift for children as thanks for the porridge. In the book, the gnome, or the tomten, slips out of the hayloft and visits the animals of the farm. He visits the sheep and tells them, "All my sheep, all my lambs, the night is cold, but your wool is warm, and you have aspen leaves to eat." He visits all the animals of the farm, and he always comes to them saying he talks to them in tomten language, a silent little language the sheep or the other animals can understand. And then he visits the parents towards the end of the book. And the book says, "The house where the people live is silent. They are sleeping through the winter night without knowing that the tomten is there. Winters come and winters go. I have seen people large and small, but never have they seen me," thinks the tomten. And then he visits the children asleep in their little bed, and he says, "If only they would wake up, I could talk to them in tomten language, a silent little language children can understand, but children sleep at night." And away goes the tomten on his little feet. In the morning, the children see his tracks, a line of tiny footprints in the snow. The book is a promise coming out of the deep cold of winter about the better days to come again. It is hopeful, slightly spooky, and still and quiet like a winter night. When we came back to the United States, we brought the gnomes with us, along with a lot of other fun traditions, foods, and practices. The gnomes are an invaluable part of our holiday decor. Yes, you're also part of our decor. Yes, you are. But, of course, we're also trying to balance against the consumerist aspect of these gnomes and to use them as reminders of the importance of keeping family close, of finding warmth and light in this dark time of year, and remembering the spirit of the places that we've come from, wherever those happen to be. They're also, perhaps, the spirits of my fiber arts. But I have a little secret. I don't really like doing little fiddly knits that require lots of ends to weave in. They're not my favorite type of project, so I have not yet knit any of my own gnomes, or crocheted or felted. I know there are dozens of patterns out there on Ravelry, so if you have one that you particularly like, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Especially if it's one that doesn't involve too many fiddly little ends. Also, if you're going to buy a gnome, I've added a couple of links down below, not sponsored, just some links, of places that you can get gnomes that come more closely from the cultures that they represent. Thanks for stopping by. Please let me know about your favorite gnomes in the comments. And don't forget to like or subscribe to Stitched Together Fiber Arts. Until then, happy holidays, or as they say in Finland for Merry Christmas, hyvää joulua.